Hello everybody, my little goblins. We're here with the spicy one. We had a lot of fun creating this deck, and I have no one else to thank but my Twitch chat, especially Duck. Duck, he did a great job helping me build this and help navigate through the deck. And join the Twitch. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And this is a Sunavalon deck. So we're going to go into Dryas. Dryas is going to be getting our Sowing. Sowing lets us get a Seed Twin and that whole combo that you just seen there. Now we get Jasmine. We sack for Mardell. Mardell is going to summon Laurel. Or Laurel's going to summon, because if you have, you can special summon Laurel if you have higher life points than your opponent. So now that we gain life points, we get to tutor for 2 plant monsters out of our deck. So we get Spore and Snowdrop. We go into Melius. And my goodness, I was not running Melius at first. And big help from Twitch. Big help from Duck. So if you're watching this video on Monday, 4th of July, baby, Duck, I just want to say thanks. And we go into Dryas here, because Dryas lets us get the Shrine. We need Shrine. This is a important reason why we need Shrine. We're going into our final Link boss monster here to get Bloom. Now Spore, we normal summon. We sacrifice for Ricky Glamour. This is going to give us another boss monster. So this automatically special summons itself from the Glamour. We send Carrot, and then we special summon Carrot by discarding. Don't worry that you don't have another one for drop, because now we have Ricky Queen Stenna, who can get back our Lone Fire Blossom. We're going to sacrifice or tribute. Now her effect activates. We get to activate Sacred Tree Beast. We're going to activate the Shrine now, so we can activate Hyperion's effect to add a spell, so we can have a spell negate. So now we summon Loki. Boom. Here comes Rose Whip. And Rose Whip, I just want you guys to remember, Rose Whip, it only works on activated spells. So, like, if you negate the spell, they can follow up with another spell, is what I'm saying. So, this is pretty much the best board you can build with the deck, for the most part. You get Sunavalon, Big Boy, which gives you an Omni Negate with Bloom. Not Omni Negate. You get a Dark Rule No More with Bloom. Then you have Sacred Beast, which is a monster or spell negate. Mainly spell to protect against Regeki, Lightning Storm, and all that stuff. We got Teardrop, which is a tribute, which is really big. Really, it deals with monsters that can't be destroyed or anything like that. And it's a quick effect. We have Bang. Bang is to bounce. Really good against DPE. So when DPE activates her effect, you can activate Bang. I mean, it's pretty easy for the DPE player to navigate around it, because they just have to get out of the main phase. But this card should be able to make it really annoying for your opponent. And then again, Rose Whip. Once they activate a spell or trap, if it doesn't work, they can't activate anything else. They can't activate another spell or trap. Now, another big thing to notice is Sowing. Sowing, the extra effect here, right, is if a plant link monster you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card instead. So that works on Bang, and it also works on Sunavalon. Sunavalon can't be destroyed anyway, right? But just to point it out. Now let's play. So a Harpy's Feather Duster. I Hyperion negate this because the Dark Rule and No More effect and the Called by the Grave is huge. So I'm like, negate. But now, since that spell didn't activate, he can Lightning Storm me. But I can protect these this monster right here. So really, he only killed Hyperion, which already used its effect. And that's why it's game over. Alrighty, game 2's on the way. And we're going second, which Honestly, the deck doesn't do great at. We're playing against Trap Tricks, which is really annoying, but we're going to Infinite Imperm the Mantis because Sarah's unaffected by traps anyway, so it wouldn't even matter saving it for Sarah. And then he's going to show his Lord of Heavenly Prisons and then set 3. So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be really annoying. We activate 1 for 1 first, getting rid of Spore. Pretty much baiting out to see what he's going to do. Go to Dryas. Dryas effect activates. Then he Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare me. So I'm like, oh gosh, this is really annoying. You have to stop the Sarah's effect because if you allow Sarah to go off, they're just going to keep snowballing. So we droplet here because if we don't droplet, we just lose. I mean, we lose anyway if one of these back row cards just stops my die. So we at least get Dryas. Dryas effect activates. And now he has compulsory evacuation. I'm like, okay, well, we get the ability off first. The ability is the only important thing. Because remember, we discarded Spore the first turn we played it. Now, it really just matters to me what's this final card here. If it can stop my Spore, we lose. If it can't, we win the game. So, going to Dryas again. Dryas doesn't activate because I didn't use Loki. So now we go to Twin. Twin will pick up Loki, and since we took damage, Dryas effect activates. Now this is why we have a 1-of healer in the deck. To get that extra healing. So we go over 8,000. Then we go into Jasmine. Jasmine's going to get Mardell. Mardell is going to get us L'Oreal. And you know the combo. Honestly, I would suggest you guys watch the video and like watch it even like more than once, or at least like the combos more than once, because the combo is very intricate and playing on the longer you play the deck, the better you'll get at it. It took me a while to get used to the combo. You can ask the people who watch the Twitch. So now we're going into Melius. We go into Melius again. Now this is where we're going to be going to get our... We go into our last Dryas to get our Shrine. We go into Resurgent. And now we go into Dry. We get our Bloom. Activate Lone Fire Blossom. To get Riki Fairy. We're just popping off right now. Now, I'm like, right now, I'm like extremely curious on what this face down card could be. Right? Because, I mean... And I'm like thinking, I literally couldn't think of what I thought it was like a dead card, to be completely honest. But I go into Strenna, and then he activates Dimension Barrier. So now it negates all XZ monsters. So I can't even do anything with Strenna now. But I'm like, okay. Now I can just... I can literally blow up his whole field. Not what I wanted to do. But we have follow-up next turn with Shrine. And we have Bloom. He loses. GG. We're better. Alright, so we're just... Let's go through the combo slowly, okay? We play Die. Maxi. We're going to go combo like relatively slowy here. And we're going to talk through it. Because again, the combo is very important to understand. And this is also a good match. So we go into Loki. Remember, it's very simple. Loki, go into Dryas. Dryas gets Sowing. Sowing is going to get Seed to a Sunseed Twin. Sunseed is going to resurrect Loki. And then Dryas is going to get Heart. Or Healer. It looks like a heart. You gain 300 life points. Then you go into Jasmine. Jasmine effect activates. Get rid of Seed. You get Lone Fire. And the reason why you want to get Lone Fire is so when you go into your XZ monster, you can pick up the Lone Fire. Jasmines are both going to let us search. because that is not a hard once per turn. It's not a hard once per turn on the card. Like, obviously, I would need another one for it to work again. So going to Melius. Melius is going to get the seed. Again, Melius. Again, not a hard once per turn. We go into Dryas. Now Dryas is going to get our Shrine. Beautiful. Resurgent. And then finally, Sunavalon, Big Boss Monster. Get the Bloom. Painful decision. We're just going to normal summon it. Sacrifice. Play Riki. Glamour. Going to Tribute to add Primula and Carrot Boy. Then we play Shrine. And if you're wondering how we summon Primula, it summons on itself by Glamour. You just make sure you don't skip through it. You actually click it. Then Strenna comes out. We pick up Blossom. We Tribute. It's very important. Now we have Sacred Beast. This doesn't really matter too much at this point. We bring back Resurgent. And since we have no more spells, I didn't want to use Crossout Designator just to use the spell. We are going to have to just add a monster effect. So now we have a very good back row, right? Doesn't matter, we get Lava Golem. So that's rough. So how do we win this? Well, we'll see. Let's attack him. Well, we get stopped. Then we get skill drained. So things aren't looking good for us, because then they activate remove brainwashing, which means they're running a Kaiju deck, which means we're probably screwed. So we keep the Sunavalon up mainly because of Bloom. We bring in Carrot. We activate Forbidden Droplet just to go over. And then we attack for 19. Now, I want to tell you guys, every single point of damage matters. And I'm going to explain why. Look here. He attacks me here, right? Little does he know, I have this card's linked to this. So Sunavalon Bloom actually works to pump up the Bang. So now, boom, he takes 1400. Now I'm like, okay, easy game, easy dub. We got this. We got this. Now, what I should have done here, because like I said, every point of damage matters. I should have special summoned Sunseed with Shrine, and then I should have went into Thrasher just for the 800 damage. Because if you do the calculations here, if he stops this attack, I need 800 damage to kill. But I was hasty. So now, he Magic Cylinders me, negates the attack pretty much, and I miss 800 damage on killing him. And what do you think happens from now? He top decks Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, and I lose the game. Because, boom, that's just how life rolls. So, don't be like me. Be smarter. Really look at the math. See if you could do lethal. See what prevents you from doing lethal. And then evaluate what you should be doing to have your highest chance of doing lethal. Because if this was a tournament, if I was playing like a big tournament or something, I would be so tilted right now. I probably wouldn't have played as fast, but I'm just saying, you probably would be pretty pissed. Especially a stupid mistake like that.
Yugi, have you heard of the greatest duelist in the world?
Who is this duelist?
His name is Futsoid, and he has a huge cock and Twitch channel!
Kaiba, we must follow this duelist to the end of times!
Yugi, for once I agree with you! Quit being a loser and full out this duelist now!
Alright, we're back for the last match before the deck profile. Now, we have a pretty good hand because we have Called by the Grave and Cross Out. I Called by the Grave. So the reason I Called by the Grave is solely because if this man has, or woman, has Nibiru, Call doesn't really help me, does it? But if he has Maxi or Nibiru, I have Cross Out pretty much for any other hand trap he has. So we do the regular combo. Let's speed through this. You guys, you've seen it enough. Now, go into Jasmine. Jasmine activates. Boom. Mardell. We get L'Oreal. Boom, boom, boom. Get our cards. We go into Melius. Melius. I just really want to show the strength of the deck, but I do want to say that the deck is definitely good, and I think it's pretty strong. It just takes a while to get used to it. You're gonna have to like really play the deck a lot to really understand what you're doing with it, and to really grasp the combos without messing up as much. There's a lot of room for error when you're playing it. So you summon both of those. We go into Hyperion. We just go into the Ricky Queen. I was actually debating just keeping up the card there just in case he had multiple spells, but it doesn't matter. We got Soaking for follow-up. We go into Resurgent. I think in this case, I actually activate Cross Out just to get a spell underneath him. Which I was like, because the reason I did that is because I wouldn't be able to stop Lightning Storm anyway. Because Lightning Storm's in hand. So that would have been my reason for having Cross Out on field. So he goes into Yugioh. Oh, I sped this up a little too quick. But we're just going through our interrupts. He's going to get the tutor and everything still off. We used only this so far, and we also used Bloom. So now he activates from hand. We just negate from hand. So we negate from hand. He's trying to play through all our cards. Which Sword Soul's pretty good at doing it. He resurrects Taiye, and then we have the Riki to put the nail in the coffin. Boom. He passes over like an absolute gentleman. I want to give you Acel a congrats for letting me hit him for a big tree slap. Alright, on to the deck profile. Alright, we're on to the deck profile, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who was watching my stream on Twitch. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I love talking to you guys, and I hope that we can keep doing this, and it's pretty enjoyable. You guys helped me a lot with deck making part of this, so I do want to thanks with that too. The beginning shell I had for this deck was like 100% different. I mean, there were some cards that were similar, like obviously the 1-for-1, the dies, painful decision. Just the ratios were kind of all off. I wasn't really running that many hand traps either. So I really want to thank everyone. I just want to thank Duck too again, because he was a big help. He was definitely a big help with a lot of the decision making here. So let's start off. We run the three Sunseed, mandatory. You got to run 3. Spore, great suggestion. I wasn't running him for a few games, and then once I slided him in, I wasn't running him because I was like, Angelica kind of serves the same purpose, but this is kind of just like having a second Angelica that's easier to summon. We went down to 2 Lone Fire Blossoms just so we could have a Spore. And we have Effect Veiler, we have Angelica, we have L'Oreal, which as you've seen is a big combo part of this deck, 2 Max C. We run 1 Jasmine. We run Jasmine for normal summons, but honestly, I don't even know if Jasmine's 100% not necessary. We could probably remove Jasmine for another Blossom, now that I'm thinking about it. to make the consistency even better, we could probably get rid of Jasmine for Blossom, because originally I wasn't running Rose Whip. I was running Cactus. So just bring it up for you guys. This is Cactus Bouncer. He can't be special summoned, but while you have another plant on the field, neither player can special summon. So he'd be like the last one of the last cards you play on the board, and it would just lock your opponent out of special summoning. So that's part of the reason why I was running Jasmine at first. But now that we're not running Cactus, we probably could take Jasmine out and put in Lone Fire Blossom, like a third one. We got Sunseed Twin, 2 of them. Very good card. Card runs so perfectly hand in hand with Sowing, because this card's nuts. Rose Whip again. It's think of it as like a mini lockout for your opponent. They have to really think. If they have like 4 spells in hand, or 3, or even just 2 spells, even just 2 spells in hand, they have to think, oh, what am I gonna use my spell on? What am I gonna use my spell on? And if they are running a trap-based deck, and you have Rose, they're going second, so you're playing against something like Eldritch, and they just set 5 pass. Guess what? Rose Whip prevents them from doing anything besides using 1 trap. So it's actually like surprisingly good. It's really good against Sky Striker if you're playing a lot against that. I like it, and like I said, you don't get it out every game, but like when you do get it out, it feels really good. We got the 1 Ash. Like I said, a lot of these 1-ofs you're seeing because of crossout. You run World Carrot Weight Champion. This card with Primula makes our Strenna. So, and then Mudon lets us get our spell, which is Glamour, which lets us search for Primula. And Snowdrop is a 1-card teardrop. As you've seen, it just makes the other card the other plant on the field into level 8. It makes other plants level 8, which you can XZ into teardrop. Mardell, you can even bump Mardell up to 2, because sometimes you get her in your hand. It's kind of awkward, but she's supposed to tutor. When you special summon her from Lone Fire Blossom, you tutor Laurel. And then that's how you get the combo to go into the double Jasmine and then double tutor with the Jasmine. And when I say tutor, what I mean is a card lets you search through your deck for a specific plant card and add it to your hand. I mean, we run the 3 Unexpected Die, Painful Decision, 1 Lightning Storm, like I said, 1-ofs. We had a 1-of Dark Ruler No More, but I removed that for a 1-of Harpy's Feather Duster. Just because I see that way more than... I barely see people use Dark Ruler No More, even though it's a really good card and it's really strong. Barely see people use it. Yeah, I mean, the deck's really strong. I mean, if you want to look at the extra deck, we pretty much use most of the extra deck. Like, after everything's said and done, I think we have like 3 cards left in the extra deck. Like 2, you might have like 1 Dryas left over and 2 Sunvine Thrashers. Every other card you use, which is pretty nuts. So what does that tell you? That tells you, for the most part, if someone board wipes you, you just lose the game. So how do we combat that? There's really not a way to without diluting the deck. Something I was thinking about is maybe adding Pot of Avarice, because Pot of Avarice would let us cycle through our graveyard. So it would let us add in all the link monsters and stuff that we got rid of. But to be honest, like if they get rid of everything you got, you're like so far behind at that point. But Pot of Avarice is definitely a tech card that I think might be good in this list. But other than that, I hope you guys had fun. And remember, join me on the Twitch streams. It's a lot of fun. I post every time I go online. I post on the Discord and I post on my YouTube in the community tab. Discord's the easiest way of getting it. The Discord's always in the description of my videos. So join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's not like super active. We do chat a bit in it sometimes, but it's also very small right now. So I'm sure the more people that join, the more active it gets. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.